return to beautiful Miramar. The desert below and death above as the teams prepare to drop in and spread the love, or the lead, if you will, and hope to be the last team standing. Froz.
Hey, once again, we got a pretty rough plane here, though. Looking at it from the center on the north side going towards the southwest. If you're a Los Leones team or towards the southeast side, you're going to have some trouble.
I mean, it's not Los Leones, Impala, Puerto Paradiso, even to a large point, Cumaceta is going to just be a late drop. There's not a lot of options for the teams that would like to go to those areas. The only saving grace is this is one of the best trash loot maps on the game. They have the highest gun spawn sites of any of the 4 maps, so even if you have to get a little trashy with your looting, you're still gonna come out on top.
Oh yeah, and look at this. 69, they're actually going for Campo Militar. That's actually a little bit surprising because that's gonna be a lot of rotation if you don't get the circle up on the north towards you.
Yeah, here's the argument though. It's got great loot, and if this plane is this far to the northwest, it means that rotation around Azahar for anything in the south will probably be wide open. So we'll see if strategy, if that 200 IQ drop and the early looting on military pans out for these gents.
Okay, we got the first circle, and let's see, it's gonna be on the western side.
So that's exactly what they didn't want to see.
Well, it doesn't really matter because they can do a rotation on the north side of the map without any problem. There's not many teams there. I mean, you got Scars Black up on La Corberea, but that's about it.
The only challenge here is Team 69 won't have been able to really track who's dropped on the north side, so the rotation may be tricky. But let's jump over to Bigatron Gaming as they get their loot up and running in a contested area. This Hacienda looks like is it going to be challenging? No, they got this to themselves.
Yeah.
Happy-go-lucky. Lots of loot here, lots of ability to sort of guarantee almost the first circle is going to come near to you. You don't have to move that quickly. Good spot for them.
Well, at the same time, with this circle that we have, it's going to be a little bit rough because you don't want to go south towards Picado, so they got to go north, and that means you're moving out from the center of the circle. You want to go a little bit around it and go north side of San Martin.
Looting in a mansion, relaxing in one, as well as those guys play on the couches here in Berlin. Let's jump over to the guys from PLM who will be looting down on the south side of the map. They are not alone. They are going to potentially be contested by SSG. These are 2 teams that fought it out and sort of were in the mix in the final 5 of the last map, again, right on top of each other, and this fight could potentially break out as the guys from SSG don't have a lot of loot options. They have to try to take what they're going to use.
Look, Purple Moon, they were not happy they got to play in the prelims, but they did really good there. They had 4 wins out of the 12 games, and we saw them in the last game, 11 kills, most kills in that game.
I mean, that's what it comes down to, is making the most of what you got. You get one of those situations where you're not happy that you're in those prelims, but you learn from it. I mean, it was a meat grinder. The best teams, the second best teams from all of these regions fighting it out, they had to survive it, and this is a placement-focused team. We saw what they did last time. They moved towards middle, they maintained their position, they got decent placement and a good amount of kills. Remember, what do you think, Froz? Does placement come with points? Or how does that work when they talk about kills to placement ratio?
Positioning equals points.
Positioning equals points.
Because positioning will mean that you'll get a good placement in the game itself, but you'll also get a lot of kills if you're good on it.
So you have to be aware. Go to that middle spot. Sure, maybe you end up getting smashed at some point, but you finish in the top 3, you put the big points on the board. But if you want to get that chicken dinner, if you want to take home the big win, right? When we play, that's all we really care about, taking home the big chicken. You got to be willing to go early out and eradicate fights. That's why I want to see PLM do a little better on this one. Is last time, I think they tucked in for a little too long instead of, say, going out looking for some third parties and clearing the wedge of the pie, right? If you think of the circle as a giant pizza, you want to maintain your wedge.
I mean, also, at the same time, since we're on Miramar now and not on Sanhok anymore, the playstyle is so different. You can't just go snaking. You got so much vision from high grounds on this map. It's kind of impossible for you to just be snaking. You want to be active. You want to be proactive and knowing what's around you all the time.
We just checked in with Team Seoul, looting Picado, the city of Sin, all for themselves. And now we'll jump over to RRQ. Now, here's the deal. This is a team that everyone is scared of. These guys know how to fight. They're favorites in this tournament. They get Pozo all to themselves, and then they get the middle of the circle.
I mean, can't be much better, right? At least that's what you think, but sometimes some of the teams, they don't really like this because you don't know what's happening. If you're outside a circle, you need to get inside and you get to grab all information. Now, if you're in the center of the circle from the start like this, you don't really know where you want to play. And if you choose the wrong spot and the circle doesn't end there, you're going to be like, oh my God, we could have gotten to that spot from the start.
And I think that's what you bring up as a great point, Froz. PUBG is an information game. Sure, it's survival. Sure, it's a shooter. But at the end of the day, it's all about gathering information and making smart decisions. When you're in the circle, we see teams struggle with that. Do you loot too long? When's the time to rotate? Where are your enemies coming from? Really, I think RRQ should already be occupying the church compound above Pozo, preparing a defense because teams are going to start showing up relatively soon. The problem is in the middle, how do you find that timing when it feels like you have forever?
I mean, looking at it though, Ernie, he went a little bit to the east right now. He's trying to get up on the hill there, or the mountain itself, trying to get a little bit of vision.
All right, we'll jump down to Unique and then all the way over to the Brazilian Killers, who look like they are looting pretty far out here right now. They're on Higos. Yeah, Los Higos all by themselves on their own little island. Problem with Higos is they're gonna have to go through PLM or rotate late. That's the option.
Well, the thing is, they got the whole western side they can actually rotate on, and PLM, they should be rotating pretty early. They shouldn't be waiting for too long because they have the possibility to get towards the center, get himself into a really good position.
Absolutely. Now remember, south of Pmco has the chance to become a bit of a bloodbath. A lot of teams going to be looking to come through sort of this Death Valley region north of Pmco and sort of that crossroads south of it. Both of those spots, dangerous spots to make transitions in cars. Teams are just waiting to take you out. So you got to be careful there. Teams that want to make it through that spot and find middle positions need to do so now. Wait too long and you're going to get stuck.
Yeah, and we saw a big E-tron that was looting in Hacienda. Right now they are moving a little bit north. They're trying to go in from the east side there towards the west.
ARG got Los Leones. I mean, we talked about Los Leones. It was way off of the flight path.
Yeah.
ARG had to fight to get there. They're going to have a little bit of time to loot because they know no one else is going to be too close to them.
One thing I just spotted is that SSG is very split up right now. You have people in Impala, La Bendita, but also in La Riviera on the western side there.
I honestly I can't wait to talk to him after the game today and be like, this split is bananas. So I don't know if they were trying to say do a 2-2 split and shore up the idea that wherever the circle went, they had options in terms of early compound grabs, and that's the only thing I can think of. Getting a team, a pair, into this size of a map, into an early middle compound and locking it up, and then sitting there and scaring everyone away, right? You sit there, you got a guy shooting off every gun, switching back and forth to convince them there's more than 2 people. It could work.
It could work, but it's really hard as well, because remember, if you're alone in a big compound, wow.
Groza gonna load up with his partner as they head out, and the rotations have started. The exodus, the transitions, as everyone tries to find a place to call home. But Miramar has plenty of those places. Compounds aplenty on this map. Talk to me about how you play the transition in the mid game.
All right, so if you're outside the circle right now and you see the circle is closing in, you want to enter the new circle as soon as it shifts towards the next phase, because then you'll see where the next circle will be and you're going to be on the transition, on the move. And look at this though, what's happening?
Nova taking some shots here. They does manage to get away. We see them butting heads with the opponents here. It looks like it is going to be Scars Black that's taking some shots at them. Scars has the rooftops. Nova sort of came into their area here, and Scars definitely has the visual advantage with George up on the roof, using that third-party perspective to gather information. You can see him doing it right now with the map, with the camera control, and letting his team on the ground know exactly where their opponents are.
Yeah, Nova, they can't really get an angle on George if George doesn't stand up, so he could just be the Overwatch and give all the information in the world towards his teammates.
Yep, absolutely. So Nova going to jump away here. We see Fireboy taking some shots at Soul now. Mortal going to have to try to turn around and get away, and it's not going to be an issue. I don't think they'll lose him necessarily, except, KK Skur right there. Okay, I think Soul should be all right here, as the guys from Top Esports are going to tuck in and just sort of send some warnings downrange.
I mean, yeah, they're just southwest of the power grid, and there's a lot of space to play on. Remember, we're just in phase 2 here. You don't need to engage right now. What you want to do is still position yourself for the later games. You want to, if it goes to a city, for example, you want to be ready to just crash into that city.
Absolutely, and again, the thing about Miramar is you start to move in, you find a safe spot, and then you just really want to wait for the circle, right? You want to let everyone else fight it out, let people die in transition. Placement is incredibly important here. A lot of the teams, with the exception of 2 or 3, say placement is king. We need to get to those final 5 spots, rack in the big placement points, and then put kills as cherries on top. Nice spray, White Cat. Looks like he's sending a message, but he immediately has to back off. There's no cover over there. So if the guys from Seoul decide to dismount and fire back, he would have been in big trouble. So this is going to continue to be sort of a war of attrition between the guys from Top Esports and Seoul.
Look, at the same time, Top Esports on top of there, they got so much vision. They can scout everything and just grab the information and see, hey, where do we want to play from?
Yeah, but can you imagine being caught inside of an X-Quest and Seoul sandwich, essentially, which is what they are right now? It's got to be stressful. If either one pushes, you know the other's not going to be far away from doing it as well. 69 Esports here. We got Lashin up on top. Boufla as well over by the Crater fields. Not a bad position. I like Crater. Good places to hide cars and good places to rotate out of.
But at the same time, when you're on a high ground here, you don't have too much cover to work with. So you got to be careful and choose wisely where you want to be playing it from.
Still staring at Nova as they make that rotation here. Let's take a look at the big map. You can see who is alive so far. We've only lost one player from All Rejection Gaming. Everyone else still up. Everyone else still rotating.
Look at PLM. Once again, they're going on the west side, and they're more or less all alone over there.
Yeah.
It was kind of the same thing we saw on Sanok in the last game when they went on the north side all by themselves.
I expect them to stop at the God Buildings for a little bit of scouting, maybe rotate to the South Pozo Hills. That's a good spot to sort of hunker down. I think they're probably watching that loot drop coming down. Meanwhile, Kitsune is watching his own opponent right now. He's so far away, I can't even see who he's fighting at the moment, but he's forced him to stop his car and dismount.
Hey, you're going to miss every shot you don't take.
100% of the time you miss a shot if you don't take it. You are absolutely correct, Froz. And that's, I think, one of the biggest ones when you start to learn to play, especially survival stuff, PUBG Mobile, you want to take the shot. There's no downside. Maybe you lose, but hey, GG go next, baby. All right, Beze putting up a nice shot here as they push up on the guys from Scars Black. It looks like Scars had no idea, completely unprepared. What a shot! He gets the knock over there and behind the hill, and now it looks like Scars is going to be in some serious trouble as ELG just pushes.
ELG here, they are super aggressive. They want to take out Scars Black. They know that that's the winners of the last game, and they don't want them to get more points.
Absolutely. If you can squelch the winners early in this tournament, they did knock them down to 2. It's going to make it a lot harder for them to take home those placement points. So it's going to be good news for everyone in the field. You know they saw that kill feed. You know they were excited to see Scars going down. But Elite Gaming queues up their grenade. A nice top toss here, but it looks like Scars has already extricated themselves from this fight.
Yeah, we see Reno in the distance there. He's gonna wrap around in the blue, trying to keep up with Naotos. There is a little bit more to himself because the circle shifted towards the east. That means they're pretty close to the next circle here.
We're looking at RRQ. This is a huge play for them. They held down East Pozo as well as the top of the mountain, and that is a big strategic spot. Its only weakness is that rotation in from Pozo's side. So by leaving one of their players there, they're gonna leave, I think it is gonna be G9 inside of Pozo. He'll be able to watch his team's only blind spot. Very smart play by these guys. Let's go over to Bigatron as they shoot down on SSG, our second place team from the last match. 6-less is now carless as Ryzen gets a nice little shoot.
But look at what's happening on the south side there. A flank is coming in, and Ryzen, eyes up.
Yep. I mean, he's got the 2 sides to worry about. He knows that he is being pushed down on. He does have a partner nearby, but will it be enough? Working without the red dot, iron sight, goes to the 4X. Good spray there. Oh no, Juicy!
Oh, that's a back tire!
Oh, the almost hero from the last game gets knocked off the bike. Not much they can do to save him, and he's gonna crawl and just make it harder to get the kill. But don't tell Ryzen that. Apparently, he doesn't even need to worry about the recoil.
He's a one-man show right now.
Where's the rest of his nade?
Is it gonna be a Kobe? No, it's not enough.
It was perfectly on the smoke though. He threw it to the right spot. It was great. It sent a message to SSG. Maybe it's best if you just hide, boys.
Look, SSG got the shack right now. It's not optimal though, but you're in the center of the circle. You have cover around you, and you have the windows you can just peek out of.
Remember, third-person perspective, they're using that advantage to peek through the small hole, and they can figure out where their opponents are. The bad news is, X-Quest not far away. They want to get involved with Bigatron. He's in trouble. Now they got to run as he is getting lit by Cool Boy. Fortunate. There it is. One tag, sends a message. Natik immediately reverses the car. Probably going to hide back in that ditch and say, okay, message received, my man.
Hey, XQF here, they got a great compound, and again, they are in the center of the circle as well, more or less. So that means if they can hold this off, they can grab a lot of kills. And we saw that in the last game. 10 kills.
Yeah, you heard the desk talking about it. Scoom brought up the vast size of this map, how we're going to see a lot of long-range fighting in the mid-game. That's exactly what we're seeing. In Sandhawk, we saw a lot of 3Xs and sprays. Here it's been all about the 4 and the 6X and the very careful tap of the DMR. And DMR seemed to really be a carrier here on the Miramar map.
Oh yeah, and XQF with Purple Mood, 4 wins each in the prelims. So that means 8 out of the 12 games those two teams won.
You know, Fraz, I've noticed, like we said, a lot of these teams are using the DMR over, say, bolt actions.
Yeah.
What is the advantage that these players get from using DMRs instead of, you know, like my favorite time is to get that headshot with the bolt action. Why are they going DMR?
DMR is more forgiving, so even if you miss the first shot, you still get a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance, even a 20th chance.
Yeah, so, you know, put that in your pocket, take it home with you in your game. The DMR is more forgiving, and a lot of times when it comes to these competitive matches, it's just so punishing to miss that first shot with the bolt action. All right, Justice down here on the downhill. Looks like he's got a decent idea of where the Brazilian killers are. The question is, will GC Busan take this fight or just move on to a new spot?
Looks like they want to move into a new spot. They also got a few vehicles here to work with. So we know this is Miramar. It might be a little bit open from place to place, but with vehicles, you can build your own little fortress and work from there.
At the end of the day, they were outside the circle. It's better to be in if you're going to pick a fight than out, and they're going to start that rotation. Meanwhile, let's jump over to 69 Gaming, who is in a similar position with Nova. Neither of them are inside the circle. If they take this fight, it is a losing proposition for both. You have to finish it quickly, or you have to find a better rotation, and 69 looks like they're going to opt to get into the circle and play gatekeeper instead of force a fight on the outside.
It's not always too bad to take the fight, because if you can take the fight and wipe them off, you get more room to work with on your side of the circle. But looks like 69, they're going to set themselves up on the north side of the new circle and try to gatekeep the other teams.
You just saw a little map pop in on the right side that showed the path 69 was using to rotate. Cool to see the way that they stopped, they scouted, and they moved instead of just sending it and hoping.
Oh, look at Nova.
Rotations continue. We've got Nova off to one side, PLM off to the other. Spray's going to open Lashina. Did he find anybody on that one? I think it was a bit. Yep, he's got Nova pinned. They're upside down behind a car. What can you do? If there's one grenade, that'll be the end of Nova, and immediately they start to pull out the throwables.
There he goes.
Here's the cue. Nova, can he work it out? The cook is on. The toss. Wait for the explosion, and it looks like AY's gotten away. JN, not so much. The grenade wasn't in the right spot, but Nova still pinned down.
Gotta be careful, Boofla, getting shot here.
He's going to have to fall back. It looks like a third party might have gotten involved from the distance. Nova defending. I honestly, Frost, don't know how Nova got out of that.
Yeah, how did they actually manage to get out of that? 69 should have been on top of that straight away and just starting to nade out and get the kills going.
The big one for me is we saw that Nova used offensive grenades instead of just, or not grenades, I'm sorry, smokes. Instead of smoking the players stuck on the car, they smoked the vision lines that 69 had towards Nova. Now let's jump over and take a look at this fight breaking out. SSG looks like they are pinned down and taking some serious damage at the moment, but also returning it, as it looks like
I think Scars was pushing them.
Yeah, Scars was pushing, but they ended up getting the turnaround kill. You can see the replay here as Unique Old Boy gets that knock here from All Rejection Gaming for Unique. Wow. That's beautiful.
That's some nutty shots there.
Look at him just swapping back and forth effortlessly, as that will be the end of Scars Black. The champions from the last game going out.
Mortal goes down as well. GC Busan right now, they're taking a lot of control here on this hillside here, and that's great to see, but they gotta be careful because they might just have teams pulling up from behind them right now.
Absolutely. I mean, they're working the edge. They're stopping people from coming on. Meanwhile, PLM and Nova now going head-to-head. Nova can't seem to get a break. For every time they escape a fight, they walk into another one. We've got Purple Mood up here on top of the hill using the smokes effectively, but again, Nova right there as they move parallel to each other and start taking a lot of damage. Not one goes down, making it a 3v4, I believe.
This is a super important fight because we saw the new circle pushing towards the north. That means PLM and Nova, they're just outside the circle. Whoever wins this fight, they're gonna have such a good position for next circle.
While that fight was going on, Team Soul was eliminated, taking us down to 13 teams and 45 players left alive. The circle is closing. It's not in a city. It's on 2 ridge lines separated by a road that's basically a river for all intensive purposes. You don't want to get caught crossing that, do you?
Look, it's all about which side of the river do you want to be on. I'd say south right now because the majority of the playground is there.
You got to remember, here in Miramar, it doesn't have the grass benefits of Sanhok, so a lot more smokes being required. Utility is how you make crosses on this map, and these teams are doing it very, very effectively. The problem, Froz, the smokes are going to run out. PLM can't be carrying that many more. They're getting sniped from the distance, RRQ causing problems. Meanwhile, Nova hitting them from the left side. What do you do in that situation? You know the smokes are running out.
You got to come in. You got to come into the fight. You can't just stay there. If you stay down there, you're basically saying, hey, we're already dead. We'll just try to survive for as long as possible. But you need to take the command here. Push.
There's an old saying from an ancient philosopher, just send it. And at some point, you got to commit to that. Let's go to GC Busan, who looks like they may be following that just a little bit as they head uphill into really a mess on top of the mountain.
It's a lot of teams on top of the mountain. We have 10 of the teams are on towards the south side here, and it's just a big cluster.
So Bigatron up on the high ground, trying to defend it as much as they can. It's similar to what PLM had to deal with in the last match, but it's not in the middle of the circle. That's going to be their biggest struggle, is all of these teams stuck on the edge. We got a quick glance back at PLM's situation. It looks like they're down to just one player, now in hiding inside of a smoke and hoping for the best. Meanwhile, Nova seems to continue their Teflon streak of dodging bullets as they move down the hill and manage to still survive with one player standing and one on his knees.
One is good enough. I mean, one is all you need, right? We saw that in the last game.
Yep. Bigatron manages to get the res. They're still going to stay 4 strong. They've got Busan behind them on the edge inside of the blue. He's trying to make the outside rotation. Goes for the spray. Rose ends up going down, and now Justice has the hopes and dreams of the team for this round on his shoulders as he continues to move alongside that blue.
Look, they got people all around them, and right now it's all about finish up one fight and focus on the next one. You don't want to take 2 fights at the same time.
No helmet on Zuxi. He's going to move around, does get the flush, but Unique is just around the corner. So no matter what the 1-2 punch of the Twins do here, they are going to struggle a little bit with how they get around this one. Bigatron looking to be 4, Unique on the side. Here we'll jump over to Team 69. There's that bolt action we were talking about. Few things feel as good as hitting a shot with the Kar 98.
Not hitting the shots right now, though, but hey, I'm looking forward to see those heads starting to pop.
I like the confidence that it shows. It says that they're willing to take those shots. They're willing to run the sniper and make teams pay the big bucks. Unique trying to throw those. Oh, where are they getting naded from? Is that coming up and over from Bigatron?
No, it was from Senior here on the bottom left side.
Nice.
Hey, if you run up there, you see a nade land next to you, you want to run away.
Run away. Yeah, no, we all know the sound of that nade landing next to you and the hope that maybe you ran the right way to get away from the bounce.
Look at the hard drift, though. It's going to go to the south where all the teams were. And now Nova and 69, they're still on the north side, but they're the only 2 teams that need to cross the road to get to the circle.
You know, a minute ago, Bigatron wasn't in that great a spot, but with a yoink like that, they are right smack in the middle of the action, and they can probably hold up and defend their position, whereas the teams like 69 and Nova have to find their way in, and that is going to be very, very difficult. So we'll jump to 69. Actually, ELG is, I think, going head-to-head with X-Quest at the moment. Paraboy just outside in the blue. That'll be the end of them with a nice little kill. RRQ putting in some serious work in this match.
Yeah, right now, it's still anybody's games because there's so many teams, and the ground here, there's so many dips, divots, rocks to hide behind.
RRQ giving a message to Team 69 saying, listen, you didn't get the shift. We talked about that road in the middle, how you had to be on the right side of it, and unfortunately 69's caught on the wrong, and that will be the end, I believe, of Team 69. They just could not get out of that position.
JN still trying, doing a good effort trying to get into the circle here, but he's got to be careful because RQ, they are waiting for him.
Absolutely, and they're going to be comfortably there. Like we said, Bigatron's going to sort of wait this one out. Elite Gaming on the opposite side isn't forced to move. These are just teams that are in a good spot. So as this circle closes, the blue's going to come in. Nova's going to be forced to stand up and probably make a sacrifice here at some point. My question is, can top esports Fireboy, who's hiding right there on the outside next to Bigatron and them, make a difference when he comes in?
Well, he's still not inside the circle. We see him move in now. He's going to move towards Elite Game. The thing is, he doesn't want to take the fight. He just want to get inside, get more placements for the team.
Same idea, Nova. We knew he'd have to come and make the sacrifice. He tried to take one with him. He couldn't do it. Let's go back to Fireboy, see if he can make a difference. He's by himself. He spots. He gets the knock. Will he go for the flush? The point's a big deal. The blue is coming in. The team is now watching. Ming sees him. Fireboy tries to go for the peek and pop. It's not going to work. Goes for the second, but he's taking a lot of damage. The blue is strong. He's inside, but he is not safe.
He is inside. He got cover. And I mean, right now he doesn't need to do anything. He can just stay there. But no,
no, it came back down.
Wait, did it?
They backed away from it. That was extremely close to being a team kill right there. He got lucky with the bad bounce, but a beautiful play to stay alive and stay in the mix.
All right, the new circle, and it's popped to the northeast this time. And right now, it looks like Elite Gaming, they got a good positioning for this game here.
All right, now we're down to 3 teams, 12 alive. That means everyone's got 4 up and ready to rock. Ultimately, the blue and the grenades were too much for our last solo as he goes down. The mountain in the middle cannot be climbed. That means we are running basically 3 points of a star, and RRQ is on the pinnacle of that.
RRQ. We got Big E-Tron Esports and Elite Gaming. Who's going to take home the second chicken dinner here?
Ernie with a great shot to open it up. Senior's going to push in. It looks like RRQ's looking to get aggressive, throwing a lot of smokes offensively in the direction of Elite Gaming. Meanwhile, on the backside, Ernie is fighting off Bigatron. Literally, RRQ's taking 2 fights at once. They baited the third party from Bigatron and then turned on them and got the knock.
That was amazing. And that's so good because they know, hey, we just need to hold them off right now. We don't really need to take the fight with Elite Gaming. That's why they put out the smokes towards Elite Gaming so they could just smoke them off and focus on Big E-Tron.
Ernie around to the outside. Those smokes are very, very effective as everyone's just trying to figure out what is RRQ doing, but they are on fire. Ernie. The spray is lit. Ernie gets the knock. He's got 3 kills in his pocket and more in the offing as he continues to go. Takes out Bronco, takes out Mig. This guy is crazy. He's on fire. The squid on his back gives him incredible powers as he continues to push, and now he has to go for the res. Only 1 man left for Bigatron. RRQ is going to get the res and the win. RRQ Athena takes the spot, takes the fight, and Ernie